Hello, everybody. This is John Zapp with Sales Actually. Thanks for tuning in. So, a little different view than what I normally record in. So, I'm actually at my house today as opposed to my office. So, it's just a little different view. So, the topic for today is the last 5 books I've read. So, I'm no longer young. I'm not old, but I'm not young either. I guess you could say I'm in midlife or middle age, something like that. I don't believe I've had a midlife crisis yet, but basically, maybe later, but I don't have time for that right now. I got too much going on, which is fun. I have been going through a midlife, what's the word, revolution, revival, refocus, something like that. I'm not really sure what to call it. All I know is that I'm not the same person I was just 6 months ago. I have more energy, focus, and drive than when I was 30 years younger. I have not really changed my diet except for sugar. Cut out all sugar about 2 months ago, which has been interesting. I haven't really changed my exercise pattern. No new wife, no new house, didn't move, did not change jobs. Really no changes from the physical outward appearance, but internally way different. So the question is, what's the difference? I think it boils down to a mindset change. I realize that I'm not getting any younger, and I don't want to be on a shelf in a few years when I hit that so-called retirement age. I still have a lot to do and a lot to offer. So, what am I doing to make these changes? The bottom line is mostly just pouring information into my head, which is changing my outlook. I have said many times, leaders are readers. My kids probably get tired of me saying that, along with 100 other things that I said while they were growing up. But I firmly believe that we have to keep growing and developing, or we die quickly. I'm ready to die, but I don't want to do it anytime soon. So the purpose of this video is to give you a glimpse into what I've been reading and the impact those things are having on my outlook and motivation. It's really been interesting. Now, many of these are related to money. However, I am not a lover of money, but a lover of the impact financial freedom can have on a person's life, family, and other people. If we focus just on how much money we can accumulate, we're not on the right path, in my opinion. However, if we focus on how much we can accumulate so that we can impact others and the world, that is a good perspective. So don't misread the list of topics in the books that I'm going to walk through. It's not about love and money. It's about what can we do? What kind of impact can we have on people around us and the world? So before we jump into that, here's my disclaimer. When I say read, I'm not just referring to written words on a page. I'm talking about, the impact. The reality is that technology has changed so much, and because there's so many different options on how to consume content. So, we can read the written word, we can listen to an audiobook, there's podcasts, there's videos, there's blogs, there's, TED Talks. I mean, there's a million different ways to consume content. So when I say read, I'm really talking about how are you putting stuff into your head that's going to change your life. And so just kind of keep that in mind. It's a little disclaimer. The things I'm going to share with you today, most of those I have read as an audiobook. So I didn't really read them. I just listened to them. And so every morning at 5:30 in the morning, I get out and I walk, take my dog for a walk, and I listen to audiobook as I do that. A lot of times when I'm getting in my car, driving somewhere by myself, I'll turn on an audiobook. So I'll be able to pick that stuff up as I'm driving. So when I've got free time to do whatever, and I'm usually if by myself, then I'll listen to something. So just a little disclaimer. All right, so here's a list. First on the list is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read that probably 6 or 7 months ago now. I wish I had read it 30 plus years ago. What a huge impact. What it comes down to is growing wealth and financial freedom takes a completely different mindset than the average person. This book helped me get my mindset heading the right direction. So if you've not read that, highly recommend it. Go get the book, listen to it, read it, whatever. But that's a top of the list kind of thing. The second book that I read shortly thereafter was The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. This one's a little bit, I don't know, hokey's maybe the right word for it. At the end of each chapter, he does this, affirmation thing, which there's some value in that. It's just, you got to make it yours. But again, the key thing is their mindset, right? How do you look at money? How do you look at financial freedom, your personal decisions you make? So that, again, it comes back to mindset. So that's another really good one. Now, one that was really fun along these same lines is The Richest Man in Babylon. So it tells a story about ancient Babylon. And at bottom line, it comes down to a principle of paying yourself first, taking the first cut off of your income and paying yourself. Now, as a Christian, you got to kind of look at, how does that play out when it talks to giving, it talks about giving and that kind of stuff. So you got to work that out in your mind. But the principle in the book is pay yourself first. Take a chunk of your income, regardless of what else you have to do, and pay yourself. Put it somewhere that you can use it for investments, for growth, for whatever reason, right? But pay yourself. Pay yourself consistently. Every time you get some income, take a chunk of it, put it away. They talk about 10% in the book. Is that the right number? I don't know. I think it depends on who you are and where you're at. The mistake I made years and years ago for the longest time was I tried to save after I paid everything else. Well, as you well know, if you've tried that didn't work very well. You end up spending everything you have, and then you got nothing left at the end of the month to save. So, but if you adjust your mindset and your spending to take a chunk of that out at the beginning, then you figure out how to live on the rest of that. So that's a really, really important principle. So that's another really good one, The Richest Man in Babylon. The fourth book that I read, and I read this, I don't know, again, several months ago, I listened to it on an audiobook, is a book called Blind Ambition. Now, I met the author of that book in a class, a week-long class that we were in, I don't know, probably 6-7 months ago, and he was in the process of finishing the book and getting it published. And once it was published, I went ahead and got it. What a great book. And really what it talks about is overcoming obstacles to be successful regardless of your situation. So the author, he lost his eyesight in his 20s. He had some rare genetic disease and lost his eyesight. And so going from having sight to not having sight, obviously is going to have a huge impact on your life and what you're able to do and who you are, kind of thing. He was able to grow and develop and do some incredible things, and is still doing some great things. He works for an amazing company and has just got this incredibly sharp mind, and he's been able to develop these other skills that don't require his eyesight. So it's really a pretty amazing book. So I would highly recommend Blind Ambition. Great book. The fifth book that I'm going to highlight is a book called Influence. Now, this book is really about not only you influencing others, but how others might influence you, and techniques and types of influence. And so I actually did a full review on this book, recorded it a while ago, and I haven't posted it yet, but I'll throw that out there. But that book is, wow, really, really powerful. Some great principles around how to have an influence on others that ends up being a win-win situation for both parties. And in sales, that's what we're looking for, is that win-win. So that's huge. So with that, those are the last 5 books I read. I actually just finished another one yesterday that I'll add, and I'll probably do a full review on that one because it's really amazing. And that's actually read the words on paper. So that was kind of fun. All right. So again, let's go back to where I started. My belief is that leaders are readers. So what are you putting into your head, whether you're reading it, listening to it, podcasts, videos, written word, whatever. What are you putting in your head? Are you growing and developing? Are you challenging yourself to get better every single day? That's where we got to be at. Like I said, I'm not a young man anymore, but I'm not old either. And so every day I seek to learn and grow and develop and become a better version of me. So the last 6 months has been an incredible ride, and I can't wait to see what the next 6 months, 12 months, 6 years, 12 years is gonna entail, because there's some amazing things going on right now. So I'll close it up there. In the comments, or in the description, excuse me, I'll have references for all of these books. They're all available on Amazon, on Audible. I'll also have a reference for Audible in there, so you can, if you don't have Audible already, you sign up for it there. It's an affiliate link, so just, whatever. If you want to do that, great. If not, that's up to you. But then there's links for all of the books that I mentioned as well. I don't think I'll put a huge description on them, because I kind of walked through that here in the video, but I will put a link for those. So last thing I'd ask you, actually, not last thing, next to the last thing is, if you've got a book that has made a huge impact to you, for you in the last few months, man, share it in the comments. And I'll go, if I haven't read it already, I'll go find it and read it, and I'll give you my opinion as well. So do that. Then make sure you like this, you share it, and subscribe, and then hit the notification bell so you get notified when the next video comes out. So with that, I'll say go sell something, and have a great day. Thank you very much.